Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Shooting Stars. It got a 6.5 on IMDb. Only 1,973 people rated it so far. It's the story of LeBron James and his childhood friends and how he played for the #1 high school team. All that fun stuff. I wasn't even prepared to watch it, and then the other day, again, TikTok, and they showed Dermot Mulroney. I guess he plays the coach in this. And I was like, oh, he's in it. And then I was like, oh, I wonder who else is in it. Well, nobody. But but not many people rated it. I don't know why. It's a Peacock original. And like I said, 6.5. It is an hour and 55 minutes long. But that's a pretty high rating. And I'll check it out. So stick around. I'll let you know what I think. Hey, everybody. We're at the credits of Shooting Stars. And found it very entertaining. Any sports movie based on a true story, I'm gonna like, right? So this is about LeBron James and everything he went through to up until the NBA draft, right? So I'm surprised that it's just, a Peacock movie. No offense, but you figure something like this would be bigger. Now it's educational. And you never know how much of it is truly, accurate and what's, exaggerated for the purpose of cinema. So, you have all that in there. And, I think that it's not without fault. I think some of the scenes were some bad dialogue here and there, I'll say. And there's nothing really wrong with the acting, I think. Maybe it's the dialogue, whatever. The basketball action was kind of cool. That's one thing to tell. If they have poor sports action, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, you know what I mean? But this was pretty good. They, and a lot of dunks and stuff like that, and good shooting. Now, they didn't hype, the endings and stuff like that. They kind of just, the games kind of moved on, and you won, you know what I mean? Or, you're watching the game go back and forth, you can kind of see what, and then it's it was 77-66. So, it was interesting. There was, spoiler alert, there's a game where they shoot the game-winning shot, but they don't, you know what I mean? They don't overhype that moment. I mean, sure, when they make the shot, they get celebrated, but it's not like Hoosiers. If you've seen the end of Hoosiers, you know what I mean. That's what I'm talking about, hyping that moment. There was none of that in here. Still good basketball play, and they got some talented people to get out there and run around, so that was cool. And I don't know that much about LeBron James. I mean, I knew some of this, but not nearly as much. So if you don't know much about LeBron James and you don't want to spoil it, so there's two sides of this really quick. Before I get into spoiling, I'm not going to spoil it just now, but there's a lot of stuff in here that I don't know, that I didn't know. That was a surprise to me, and I enjoyed that, whether it's accurate or not. But in the same regard, I'm a little bit closer. I know he gets, to Cleveland, right? To the Cavaliers is where he gets drafted, which is another fantastic moment. But I don't know, you know what I mean? Do other people know that? So people who watch this movie who at least don't have that little bit of knowledge that I have, do they know that that happens? And what happens? What does LeBron James become? Sure, I guess maybe they should. But what happened to the other Fab Five? The rest of it was Fab Four that grows into the Fab Five, whatever. What happens to them? That was neat. I didn't realize they were actually in the movie, a lot of them. So, I don't know. I mean, Willie McGee was supposed to be the best player in the state, and now I know he gets overshadowed in this movie, but what really happens? And I think they should have done that extra piece to give you, hey, for those of you who maybe are like, oh, I don't know much about this. Oh, okay, well, what happens? You should see that. Just like I'm learning, I know what happens after. I didn't know all this stuff in the beginning. So, so that I felt that was, you either do both ways or you don't do it at all kind of thing. But I did write a couple of quick notes down because I was just so spoiler alert kind of, I guess. So if you don't want to know what actually happened, these are some of the things that I didn't realize happened that I was surprised at. So if you don't want to know those things, you want to watch this movie as fresh as I did, take off now. I just want to talk openly a little bit more about it. So spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. So we know Dermot Mulroney came in. I thought it was an interesting choice for him to leave to go to college after 2 seasons. Imagine if you're able to coach this one for 4 seasons. He went to Akron. Could he go better? Could he have done could he have gone to a better college basketball team? I don't know. Did he really walk out with 6 minutes left to go in the state championship? So I didn't know that. That was crazy. The fact that they all went to St. Vincent's, based on the way this story's told, is that really true? Were they really best friends growing up, and then they decide not to go to the public school because the one kid's going to play JVs, and they all go to St. Vincent's? Is that true? I don't know. I mean, obviously they all did play there, but I thought that was interesting. The other thing with Carmelo Anthony, when they go into the state championship, or maybe not even the state championship, just playing against the top team in the nation, and Carmelo Anthony was in there. I didn't realize that. I thought that was neat because Carmelo then went to Syracuse and played basketball there for a couple of years while LeBron, I guess, went to the pros. And the one last thing, so I don't understand high school basketball that well. I mean, I thought I did. I didn't know there's like a national. I know there's nationally ranked and stuff like that. How does that happen? I know the teams that, the high school I went to, the girls won the state championship a couple times. The boys went into the state playoffs a couple times. I didn't know, is there something after that? Do you not go to the state playoffs? Like, how does that, or does every state, I never heard of every state, like now, okay, now you got your Pennsylvania, single A to quad A to 5A school. Are they all playing the other states to come up with the national championship? Seems more like ranking in this. And then they traveled everywhere, like crazy, flew all over the place to play these games. So I didn't know that much about that, probably because I went to a small high school with, not the LeBron Jamesism in it. But that was interesting to me. So it's interesting how they stopped. They kind of went after state championship, but they could go after the national championship as well within high school. So I don't know how all that works out, but found that interesting as well. So there you go. Pretty cool. I like the, not only the basketball piece of it and, the backstory and all of that, but the friendship thing. The friendship thing I thought was really, really cool. And even when it put a strain on that, and was it all buttoned up at the end, or was that just made for TV? Was it really a friendship? I don't know. A lot of questions, but I'm taking everything for face value here and saying that that made it a lot cooler watching that. So especially how they won their first starting four when they were freshmen at St. Vincent. That was cool. All right, a lot of good stuff in this movie, and it was a lot of fun to watch. So if you like basketball, if you like LeBron James. If you like LeBron James, you probably know all this stuff, and you don't need to watch it. But I like him. I don't follow him, but glad I watched the movie. There you go. That's what I got for you. Hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, Shooting Stars was the first team they all played together. I thought that was cool. Sometimes I don't understand why they name movies, but this one we got. All right, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.